up, Deuce Gang? I'm my guy. You already know this guy over here. Together, we are two guys doing a podcast. We bring you the latest, the greatest, and sometimes a little bit disgusting news, the latest of the day. I just want to know, man, before we get into this, if y'all like the content, please drop a like right now. Just do it right now before we get into this content, man. And also subscribe to us because we're going to bring you this every day. But I got a question for you. I got a question for this guy. Can I ask you a question?
No, but yes.
What's going on today?
It's not over yet. It's far from over, in fact. The Nicki Minaj
slander.
Well, it's so you say, but the Nicki Minaj story about the swollen testicles, it gets deeper. It gets deeper, if you can believe it. People from Trinidad and Tobago, not just people, not just a nobody, big man. This is big man chat.
That's a Jamaican accent, but that's fine.
Came out and basically said this is total bullshit. The story she gave never occurred, but don't take my word for it. Check it out. Yeah, so this is the Trinidad health minister. I'm assuming probably knows a little bit more about the side effects of the COVID vaccine than somebody like Nicki Minaj. I'm just saying. All right, let's get into it.
One of the reasons we could not respond yesterday in real time to Ms. Minaj is that we had to check and make sure that what she was claiming was either true or false. And unfortunately, we wasted so much time yesterday running down this false claim.
Come on.
It is, as far as we know, at this point in time, there has been no such reported either side effect or adverse event. And what was sad about this is that it wasted our time yesterday trying to track down, because we take all these claims seriously, whether it's on social media or mainstream media. As we stand now, there is absolutely no reported such side effect or adverse event of testicular swelling in Trinidad, or I dare say, Dr. Hines, anywhere else? None that we know of anywhere else in the world.
Wowzers.
Now, you see this is so dangerous? Do you see why this is so... You see why I said it doesn't matter where you stand on the vaccine? Start your rant. Start your personal experience with, hey, I'm not a doctor. I don't have any experience in this. Do your own research. Or in Nicki Minaj's case, this actually didn't happen to me because guess what? I don't have testicles.
Yeah.
So, hey, take this information with a grain of salt, even if it's just for your own credibility. Even if Nicki really, really wanted to believe this, be like, hey, it didn't happen to me, so it might not be true, but this is what they telling me. So, with that being said, anytime I speak to the COVID vaccine, I will remind you, and I'm pretty sure you should know, I mean, I don't make doctor money. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you about my experience with the vaccine.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about this? I was watching the video that we did about this before. It was just like, it was yesterday, so it wasn't long, but I was watching the video over again, and there's one part that you just brought up that I totally forgot. And I don't know how I forgot this. Nicki Minaj doesn't have testicles.
Yeah, she doesn't have balls.
So to use that as a reason to not get this, probably a little bit silly for a female to think. And there's another thing that I didn't take into account. And this is from personal experience. I forgot that she got the information from her cousin who's Caribbean.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And why I bring that up for anybody who doesn't have a family member who is from the Caribbean, anyone, it could be anywhere. They have a tendency to, how do I say this, exaggerate their stories when they tell them. So do I believe that maybe this guy really did have a friend who got a vaccine shot and then something might have happened to him? It's possible, but it's also possible that his friend had another condition that he didn't want to tell him about that involves swollen testicles and said it was because of the vaccine.
No, you're missing the larger point. It wasn't just about swollen testicles. It was about becoming impotent, unable to perform. That's a big deal. That is a huge deterrent for men to not get vaccinated. But anyways, Nicki Minaj, thanks. You're a fucking liar. Or maybe you just are passing on bad information.
Okay, come on now. You know how I feel about the queen.
Maybe you are just passing on bad information. But the point is when you have the platform you do, it just requires thinking. That's all. Just thinking. Viewing public, what are your thoughts here? I know what your thoughts are. At least if you have balls. I know what your thoughts are, but do share anyways. Thank you. I'm just, I don't know what else to tell you.
Hey, she brought the super bass. What do you want?
Look, speaking of testicles or lack thereof,
here we go.
I am proud to announce that I have stumbled across leaked footage of I cannot wait to see. I'm so excited. I don't know. You're not. I'm excited. He's excited. I'm excited to see what this baby finally looks like. I'm talking, of course, about the Lil Nas X and the DJ Academics baby. Now, rumor has it that he's due to give birth at any moment, and I have some of that footage. I'm going to share it with you now. Let's get into it. I know where DJ Academics is. I know he's a workaholic, but I can tell you this. When my wife was about to pop, everything dropped. I called in sick from work. Well, not sick, but work. I can't do this. I'm about to have my daughter. Like I had other plans. I dropped everything because I'm about to be a father. And I want to know why DJ Academics is not there. Now, my question to you is, if I know he's not your friend, I know he's not your favorite, right? But my question to you is, if Lil Nas X reaches out to you and says, look, my guy, I know you guys have a podcast. I know you're not the biggest fans of me, but I'm about to give birth. I'm willing to give you that exclusive footage. Are you down? So that essentially what that means for you guys is, because you don't know, we had the conversation off camera. He did say that he would be down, and he did say that he would even be willing to be in the delivery room. Now, of course, this is a big moment for Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X, we wish you a safe delivery of your baby Montero. And DJ Academics, you got to step up, man. There's a child that, that has your DNA that Lil Nas X is bringing into the world. We need you to be there, because our guy, my guy, is there when you're not picking up the slack. Two guys doing a podcast. One more kid.
I think it's coming. I think the baby's
coming. I love it. Okay. I'm a family man. You can't you can't blame me for loving children. The monstrosity that he will deliver mixed with himself and DJ Academics, well, maybe that might be the end of the world. But let's check it out. Moving right along, why are we still talking about Cat Williams and Kevin Hart?
Is it us talking about Cat Williams, or is it Cat Williams talking about Cat Williams? Cat Williams is talking about Cat Williams.
Well, when I say we, I'm speaking generally. So why does the public still, haven't they been beefing since forever?
Let's be real. Let's be real. Before Kevin Hart was Kevin Hart, there was Cat Williams. If Cat Williams didn't get into all the crazy shit that he got into, who knows what Cat Williams would have been at this point? Like, the man was in Boondocks.
That doesn't make your career. Okay.
Hey, to me, that's a huge. Wait a second. Hold on a sec.
Bar higher.
Hold on a sec. Yeah, because R. Kelly was also, well, it wasn't really him though. It wasn't really him. Okay.
You need a higher bar. Let's cut to the tape, please.
Ask you if you would be bothered enough, because I know you're normally very unbothered, to do a versus battle between you and Kevin Hart. A lot of fans want you to do it for the culture, do a comedy battle. Would you be bothered enough to do this?
I started verses.
Ooh, come on.
Not come to me with verses. The first verses ever promoted was Steve Harvey versus Cat Williams. It was the underground king of comedy versus and sold as verses. So we don't need to ask me if I would have any interest in things that I am the originator
Okay,
of.
Cat on his Soldier Boy tip.
Beefing is my lane. It's almost cheating for me. I have over 10 specials, so I don't have to pick but 2 jokes from each special, and I've already deaded anybody whose last name ain't Pryor anyway. But having thrown that out the window, 'cause we don't want to add 52 movies. We certainly don't want to add 11 specials. We certainly don't.
Cat turned to a
Want
tiger.
to add 49 television appearances. We don't want to add an Emmy. It's almost a battle we can't really afford to be in because he's on his 16th 100 city tour. So it probably don't match up the way you think it match up.
I mean, at this point, you said what you said and you meant it.
Yeah, so I'm saying I wouldn't involve me.
The originator of the verses, that's obviously false because we all know that came from Soundclash. But as far as to Titans, there is content out there that you guys could listen to. It's actually really, really funny, where Cat Williams is speaking to Steve Harvey. And when I say it's funny, I mean it's funny as hell. He goes in on Steve like you don't want this smoke. But so he has that point. But versus Kevin Hart and Cat Williams. I've seen Kevin Hart live. He's really funny. But Cat Williams would completely rip him apart.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Listen, this is no disrespect to Kevin Hart because Kevin Hart is a very, very talented comedian. I've seen his specials. They're hilarious. But anybody who knows Cat Williams comedy or has watched any of his Pimp Chronicles series, this man will have, it's every joke. It's every line. Sometimes he doesn't even say anything. Sometimes it's just the tone of his voice, which you could say as a Kevin Hart fan, all the same things about Kevin Hart. Very true. But, you know, when it comes to Cat Williams, the thing that I feel separates him from the fact that separates him from Kevin Hart is just his delivery is so natural. When I watch Kevin Hart perform his stand-up comedy, unfortunately, it looks very rehearsed. It looks very perfect, which is great. I mean, naturally. I guess that's what he's trying to achieve, right? That perfection level. But when you can just naturally deliver your comedy and make it feel organic, make it feel real, like it's just me and you and we're just telling a story, man, to me, that's what the Eddie Murphys had. That's what the Richard Pryors had. The ability to just tell a story and make you feel like, you know what I mean? We're just chilling, hanging out, and it's just fun. This doesn't feel like it's so perfect.
Look, everything you said, I'm on board. But here's the reality. There's 2 types of comedians. Ones that can perform. That's Kevin Hart. He's great on screen. He knows what he's doing. And he brings that on-screen persona to the stage. But there's also another type of comedian. Ones that are absolute masters of what they call playing the dozens. And the dozens is literally just looking at a stranger. They've never met them in their entire life. But how they look, what they're wearing, they can use that and just rip them to shreds, insult the shit out of them. But not anyone can just do that. Your sweater's black. No, they can make it really, really funny. And that's what Cat Williams is amazing at. He knows how to play the dozens. That's not Kevin Hart. Funny.
Definitely not.
Funny, but he can't play the dozens. So that's it. Just apart from everything Kat was saying about the accolades, and you could say that matters or not, whatever, but just the simple fact that you put them 2 in the ring, one of them just really knows how to throw a punch and the other one doesn't. That's kind of it,
All that being said, though, I would still I
No,
would still love to
I
see
would
it.
not want to see that.
I would absolutely
Not
want to
wanna
see it.
I wouldn't.
I personally don't think Kevin Hart would ever agree to it. I feel
No,
like Cat Williams
he
can get to a
shouldn't.
point where he would agree to it. If there ever comes another controversy between him and Kevin Hart, Cat Williams is absolutely going to try to suggest this.
Listen, I actually like Kevin Hart. I'm a Kevin Hart fan, so I do not want to see Kevin Hart completely humiliate himself
Oh, see, but
on tape. So if I was in Kevin Hart,
spicy.
it's not about spice, it's just about knowing your limits. If I was
Spicy
in
take.
Kevin Hart's camp, I would say ignore this. Or you don't have to ignore, you can entertain, but do not sign up for anything. This would be bad for you. You know, because it's documented now. Talk about a blemish on your record. This is not the smoke you want. So that's what I would be saying. Hey, I could be wrong. Viewing public, well, we could be wrong. What are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments. Do you think Kevin Hart's got the smoke for Cat Williams? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Look, when we talked about Nicki Minaj the other day, you made it sound like, they were just coming at her for her COVID comments, and they just completely left Mr. Rogan out of the conversation because he's white, or maybe because he's a white man. That's what it sounded like to me. I could be wrong, but that's really what it sounded like. And
that's what I was saying.
Hey, perfect. And I was like, what's this guy? Why do you always think people just want to tear black people down? But then when I was on my social media today, I seen a video of this rapper, Lady LaSure. She's from the UK, and she actually had something interesting to say about Nicki Minaj. I want to cut to the tape.
First of all, anybody who doesn't know this girl, please go search her music and go check her out. She's a drill artist from the UK, and bars.
Yeah.
Bars. Like, she's good.
But when you hear the video, might be a little bit of credence to what you were saying. Let's check it out.
Well, I'm separating the music from the person.
Okay, fair enough.
Leash, is it actually true that you got offered 250K to write a diss track for Nicki and you turned it down?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
What?
Are you only hearing about this now?
I remember hearing about it at the time, but I've never had a chance to actually speak to you about it.
Oh, yeah, no, literally, yeah. Genuinely, that's what happened. And that just came from me doing a cover of Look At Me Now, Busta Rhymes. It went on World Star, and then Atlantic Records was trying to reach out. Fast forward, I'm sitting down in front of this guy with my manager at the time, and he's just like, yeah, we basically want you to do a diss track to Nicki Minaj. This is after I've played him my whole EP or whatever I've got coming out. And it's like he didn't really care about it. And I just knew something wasn't right. And I went away, I'm not gonna lie, I went back on the flight home, I was bawling, because I'm thinking, yo, this might be my only opportunity to get my mum a house. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't, because fast forward, then Nicki invited me to her tour. And yeah, man, so
that's that
you always have to go with your gut instinct, man, and
you
integrity.
still got Mumsy a house as well.
This is what I'm trying to say. It took a bit long.
Come on.
Let this be a lesson to women out there who continue to sell their souls or not aspire to be great themselves and try to capture their fame or their financials off of somebody else. Let this be a lesson to you, whether that's a man, whether that's you coming down on another woman in the same industry as you. I don't care. Let this be a lesson to all of you out there, because this is a girl who that freestyle that she's talking about was from years ago.
Right.
She's talking about World Star, dog.
Yeah.
That was I remember that freestyle from so long. So that means this was when Nicki Minaj was on the come up. And listen, if you are demonic and you don't care, the person you want to go for is the person at the top. We talked about it before. If you want to be the leader, you go after the person who's at the top of the game. And at that time, Nicki Minaj was at the top of the game. This definitely would have made some steam for Lady LaSure, and she could have made $250,000 on it. Because at the time, she didn't have money. Could have bought her mom a house.
I just think it's amazing because back to the original point about that divide and conquer, she didn't fall for the trap. She didn't fall for the trap. Like when you hear about people talking about record execs trying to pit artists against each other for profits, like, I mean, again, just another example, right? So she didn't fall for the trap. She kept her integrity. She didn't just randomly diss someone that she never met, probably never had an encounter with. And then she ended up working with her. By the way, not just working with her, because that's one thing. Fly me a verse. Great. Thank you. She went on tour with her. You get the experience of going on tour. You get to, I don't know the inner workings of like, if they chilled or anything like that, but you get the experience of going on tour with Nicki Minaj.
Right.
So let that be a lesson to anybody.
And bought her mama house.
Still got
at the
to
end
do
of the
that.
day.
Thank you.
Built a career.
Because she didn't sell her soul. She didn't try to claw another person down. I know we're making it sound like it's about race, but it's really not just about race. It's about, just a human shit.
I'm not trying to make this sound about race. This is about women. This is specifically about them trying to pit women.
That is correct.
This is specifically about women being pitted against other women specifically, right? And if you accept, yes, you can say all day that there's men that were probably the ones who were pressuring her to do that. It's her decision at the end of the day whether or not she wants to follow through. So that's why it's woman against woman. Okay, for anybody that wants to come in the comments with that, it's always woman against woman. And you know what? A lot of people, mainly from the cast of Love and Hip Hop, have no issues doing any of this shit in order to gain fame, to gain their financials. They have no problem with it. And then at the end of the day, their careers only last as long as that show lasts. Because
got you now.
So, yeah, they don't spend time trying to build anything else. So, what are we supposed to do from this, ladies? Please watch. I wish we could replay it again, but YouTube has a problem with the copyright things, and I don't want to put it at chance. Okay.
Viewing public, what are your thoughts here? Talking to the ladies. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Look, we talked about the Kim Kardashian all black silhouette the other day. I said that
I had a dream about that. I had a dream about it.
You should.
It's crazy. Yeah. I was at the Met Gala. That's what the dream was. I have no clue what it looked like, but in my dream, it looked amazing. It was really good. It had a really similar to Wakanda in the video game Avengers. So maybe that's actually what it was. But she was wearing the same outfit. She was on a crown. She was on the throne, actually. I was walking into the throne room. I don't know why I was there, but I was just watching her walk back and forth. That was the whole dream. That's how much of an impact she had on me with just that outfit. Thank you very much.
It worked, is the point.
Yeah.
We talked about it. Again, not a fashion podcast, but I think it's important to point things out in fashion when they arise that make an impact. Case in point, I think I figured out how to pronounce it. Balenciaga.
Ding, 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 ding.
I know how to pronounce Balenciaga. I was fucking with you. But anyways, so listen, back in the day, what were we known for?
Believe you. You need more people. Oh,
what were we known for? Niggas sagging them pantses off the ass, wearing like really low jeans with boxers and then underwear and maybe some other shit underneath that. So now Balenciaga says, hey, we could do that.
You know what? That was actually influenced from jail life, because
I'm aware.
They wouldn't let you put strings in your pants. You couldn't have strings on your pants, so your pants would sag below where your underwear was.
So I also want to point out these very, very fashionable pants, they're gonna run you about $1,200. So naturally, of course, they're catching backlash because, again, a lot of the times when people that look like us say we are the most copied, most influential on the planet, like stop, tooting your own horn, blowing smoke.
Right.
How much more proof do you need? I remember walking into class, pants sagging off my ass. I didn't know better. Teachers, pull your pants up. Principal, don't come into my office with your pants like that. Fast forward, and these are my stories. You have your own. If you ever, rock that style, you have your own.
I have a few.
Imagine with the cops. Imagine, now high-end designer. After we put that whole thing behind us,
right?
Kanye West got us dressing like him. Russell Westbrook got us in dresses. We left it. It's gone.
Yeah, fashion.
Gone.
Fashion.
Balenciaga says no. I think you niggers had something. $1,200. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, have you seen the Crocs / Yeezys?
No.
So if you've seen what the actual, they're not actual collab, but they just look like Crocs that were made by Yeezy, is what I'm saying. And those things are priced incredibly high. The resale value is stupid. So, and they sell like nuts. This is the thing that I love, though. I love when people who can't afford things concern themselves with those things. That's what I love.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm going to tell you how I really feel. I don't care. Why? Because I'm not buying Balenciaga. I've never bought anything Balenciaga in my life. I one day hope to be able to afford things at Balenciaga, so I could never shop there. I don't plan on owning anything from Balenciaga either, because this is not the first time I've seen them. Were they the same ones who had the coon mask, or was that a different company? They probably they had a sweater.
I don't think it was them. I think it was Gucci or Louis.
Okay.
One of them. Yeah.
All right. Well, leave it in the comments if you remember what company that was. But what the point I'm trying to make is very simple. I already know what I concern my attention with, and it's things that directly affect me. This has no bearing on my life. I don't care if they make these pants. Good luck to you if they sell. If anybody buys them and wears them in public, you're an idiot. It's like bringing a gun to a video shoot.
Well, I mean, I totally understand your point, and it's extremely valid. It has zero impact on your life. But to me, I feel like it's, and this is not always a bad thing, and I've spoken to that. I feel like it's cultural appropriation.
Absolutely, 100%.
100%. I also feel like you're stealing IP. Granted, nobody, trademarked it, but I feel like you're stealing intellectual property. That's what I feel like.
You know who owns that IP? It's the same brothers that gave Dog the Bounty Hunter that pass.
Yeah.
He used the N-word.
Well, that's fine.
Nigga.
Well, that's fine. Then they deserve
Those
their
same brothers.
They deserve their fair share of the pie. The point is like, you can't, or I guess you can because they're doing it, but you can't shame someone. You can't be like, don't bring Tyrone in my house, the guy with the saggy pants, the finger waves. It's like rubber when it's waving. And then fast forward almost 20 years later, be like, this is the style, $1,200. And by the way, just to be clear, I want to be clear about this. These pants, they're not for Ron. They're not for Todd or Matt. They're for Tyrone.
But listen, all those guys still gonna buy it.
They're for Jermaine. You know why? Because Tyrone and Jermaine, they're gonna use their drug money, their rap money, their sports money to go out and purchase these things. They're not for white people. They're for you. But remember, you had these anyways for free. That's who they're making them for. I just want to point that out.
Are you being serious, or that was a sarcastic rant?
No, I'm being dead
as like that's who they're marketing it to. That's how you feel in your mind.
That's what I know.
Well, then this is the problem. The problem is, see, a lot of people like to be mad about these things, but then they give them attention. So if you're really angry about these things and you don't like what's happening, just don't give them any attention. Nobody will ever know about them. They will disappear naturally.
Of course they're going to disappear naturally because eventually they're going to run out of stock. And then if they decide to reproduce them, that's up to them.
If Todd, Jim, Bob, whoever, if any of those guys want to go out and buy these pants and wear them, that's cool. You know what? They're going to be wearing them in Calabasas and other Beverly Hills and other areas where there's posh other people around them. They're not going to be walking into Compton wearing these pants. So you know what? Like I said,
here's what I want you guys to do, viewing public. You watch this podcast, you see the hoodie. That's his brand, by the way. That's his IP. That's his sweat and tears. By the way, go support that. And then
levelupmediagroup.ca.
And then when you support it, the logo's kind of doable as far as reproducing it, making something look very similar. You get where I'm going? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget, because I guess it'll directly impact.
Listen, don't be giving nobody no ideas.
So you'll care then.
You're giving people ideas.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Look,
I got the paperwork.
let's talk about white people some more. Keke Palmer went to the Met Gala, and I
don't get how you say let's continue a conversation about white people. Keke Palmer.
Well, she went to the Met Gala and you know, she was served some food, and I imagine it was very expensive. Here's what her plate looked like. Now, the reason why this to me is a story.
Was that before or after she ate?
I'm assuming mid. Because I'm not finishing.
That can't be the beginning of the meal.
I am not finishing this, so I'm assuming mid. Now, the reason why I bring up white people, not all of y'all, some of y'all can really throw down in the kitchen, right?
Yeah, you
but
better explain it.
100%. Some of y'all could throw down. But here's what I don't understand. I don't understand the uber rich going into a restaurant, spending $1,000, $2,000 on dinner, and the plate is like the size of a traditional plate, but the meal takes up about that much of the plate, and then leaving hungry. That part I will never understand. See, I know y'all thought I was going to talk about spices and taste and all that. I know you thought I was going to go there. I wasn't going there. I'm talking about portion. I'm talking about
recipe book. You better can cook. Recipe book.
I'm talking about portion. So that to me, I'll never understand. No matter how much money I have, no matter who is at this restaurant and the networking that can happen at this restaurant, I'm going to say, yo, if y'all really want to eat some food, let's just go to like, I don't know, Boston Pizza. I'd rather go to Boston.
You couldn't think of anything other than Boston Pizza in that moment.
No, I'm trying to set the bar extremely low, like as to where I'd rather go than one of these $2,000, $10,000 a plate events where I'm still leaving hungry. You understand what I'm saying? Like that I will never get. And I don't want to put words in Keke Palmer's mouth, but the chef did come out and defended the meal. Again, I want to let you know what it looks like.
No, what I want to know is
came out and defended it.
Do you know what the chef said?
Yeah, it's somewhere here. Hold up one second.
I gotta know what the chef said.
All right, hold up one second. Oh no, that's the sweatpants story. Nope, that's Simone. Oh, here we go. Met Gala. All right, one second here. One person wrote, what did they write? One person wrote, this was clearly a eat before you get there type of thing. So yeah, they're saying again it was portion. So let's see here. Met Gala curator was not too happy, according to TMZ. Marcus Samuelson, the restaurant chef, said that the photo of Keke's food was indeed a part of what was being served for $30,000 to $50,000 per ticket. He also claimed that Miss Palmer's plate barely had anything on it. Marcus stated that the food, like everything, is about taste, and it was delicious. The chef's standards, by his opinion, that a 3-course meal was excellent, and he said that he received nothing but excellent feedback.
So hold on. 30,000 to 50,000 was the cost of the entire meal per person.
The event. So you pay the 30 to 50, and this is the meal that comes with it. 3-course meal, and that was one of the courses. That
covers everybody. The 30,000 to 50,000 that covers everybody that was there.
That covers your ticket.
Just one person.
Yes.
So one person, 30,000 to 50,000, 3 courses.
That was one of the courses.
And that was one of the courses. I'm assuming that was the main dish.
Well, yeah, it's got meat and some.
Right. So the appetizer, I'm assuming, less than that.
And dessert, we know what dessert is.
Right. What? How do you? Okay. Oh, listen.
See why I'm going to Boston Pizza?
Listen, usually I would like to defend chefs and cooks because I worked at restaurants. So I understand how much stuff really costs and how things can be more expensive. You can use canola oil or you could use truffle oil. You can use hot dog meat or you can use Wagyu beef. There's just levels to things and they cost more. And the more they cost, the more you're going to have to charge. And restaurants have their profit margin. So I understand how things could be expensive. That being said, whatever this chef's name is, homeboy, you are making it look real bad for the people grinding and cooking, the private chefs out here trying to make a name for themselves, dog. Because you charging that much money, if you're not going to provide, everything should have been covered in gold. There is no justification for that price for a meal that size. I don't care where you got it from. I looked at that steak in that picture. It's definitely not Wagyu A5. I looked at the plate. The rice there, I made that rice last night. It was fried rice. All you need is some soy sauce, some eggs. All you need is some soy sauce, some eggs, and it looks like you just added some little mini tomatoes on top of there. And then there's cucumbers on the plate. No such thing as expensive cucumbers. I've never heard of them. This is embarrassing. One thing I like about Keke Palmer, and I don't care what nobody says, she speaks her mind. And if you violate, she's going to let people know that you violated. I appreciate what you did in this, Keke. Keke, do I love you? Yes, I do. Are you riding? Yes, you are, because you let people know how ridiculous this guy's prices are. Shout out to Drake.
Shout out to Boston Pizza. Viewing public, what are your thoughts here, man? This is, like I said, I'll never understand it. He said it was about taste. I'll reserve my comments on how our white brothers and sisters use their spices. I'm talking about portion. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, man. I'm about to have some macaroni and cheese. But look,
add some salt and pepper.
Something. I have to laugh at this because, and again, I want to be respectful, but everything's a trend, right?
Hey,
everything's a trend. So the unvaccinated on TikTok, what they're calling themselves purebloods.
This is a great story. This
is
so good.
You tell it.
Okay. There's a TikTok influencer, for those who are familiar, named Lindsay Marie. And it was actually a post that she shared, and she used the hashtags Harry Potter pureblood. So pretty much what she said, she goes, from now on, I refuse to be referred to as unvaccinated. I want everyone to now call me pureblood. So this video ended up getting 250,000 views in like a short period span. And then it started getting copied by other TikTokers who then started to incorporate filters, like zombie-like filters. Others would use blood emojis in their thing. I'm not on TikTok. I'm reading this. I have no clue what any of this means, okay? So anyway, she decided to take it a little bit further. And this is where the story gets so great. Listen to this quote. In like 5-10 years, maybe less, all the people who are unvaccinated, we're going to be hunted, she warns. It's going to be like Resident Evil. We're going to be the antidote because everyone else is fucked. And we're going to be the only ones with pure blood. So muggle. I will ask you, how do you feel about this?
I feel like it's my responsibility to insert this disclaimer. I don't know who this person is, so I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure she does not have a medical science degree. So please take that information with a grain of salt. How do I feel? Like I said, I still stand behind it's your choice to get vaccinated or not. Totally your call.
100%.
But if this though, like this is stupid. Mm-hmm. Like this is dumb. See, what they're trying to do is they're trying to make shit look like gold. Like if you take a turd and you put it under some water and you try to clean it, it's still going to be shit. You understand what I'm saying? So when the word unvaccinated, obviously now it carries a little bit of a negative connotation, or I should say a very negative connotation. So she's trying to shift that, right? She's trying to, no, don't call us unvaccinated. That makes us sound, irresponsible and selfish and so on and so forth. Call us purebloods because that sounds good. It sounds right. And if it's white, I'm assuming she's white, it's gotta be right. Of course, I'm joking. But the point is yeah, it's just dumb. And again, it's TikTok and it's a trend. So as soon as it's TikTok and a trend, apart from black TikTokers, holla, it's stupid. So I can't take this serious. I'm sure it's fun, but that's it. And it's going to go away. And this is not going to pick up. You're not going to see the massive protests, marches being, we are pure. You're not seeing that. This is fun times on TikTok. That's it.
Okay. Ask me how I feel about this.
How do you feel about this?
No, but like, ask me how I feel about this, but use the word pure blood.
How do you feel about being a pure blood?
Well, as a pure blood, I could say this. This is what I said a little bit earlier, right? For those who are muggles, the vaccinated, for those who don't understand what I'm saying, it's a term that's obviously common and popular now, in case you're not keeping up. For the muggles out there, you have to understand this. If you got their shot, that's fine. I have no qualms about that one way or another. The shot is, you took it to protect you, to prevent you, to lessen your symptoms. You should not be worried about us purebloods. We are worried because, if anything, we're more susceptible to dying and passing away. You're protected. You took the vaccine. If you're still worried about catching this virus and you've taken the vaccine, maybe you should be looking elsewhere for your answers, because us purebloods, we feel that you have been shaming and attacking us, and we are just here trying to make our generation evolve and last longer. That's all it is. It's not anything crazy. We just want to live a little bit longer and not be hunted. So shout out to, what's her name? What did I say her name was?
Who cares? You sound like a freaking nerd. That's what you sound like.
Excuse me, Muggle. Relax over there.
You sound like
Slow
a
down.
nerd. You sound like a nerd.
You sound like a Muggle. So
yeah.
There's that. But anyways, what's her name? Lindsay Marie. Shout out to you for starting this trend, man. I appreciate what you're doing out there for us.
Give me your lunch money, nerd. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Look, Kid Cudi is a fan of Lil Nas X. Kid Cudi praises Lil Nas X for being a gay man in hip hop doing his thing.
Oh, man.
End quote. To have a gay
funny.
man in hip hop doing his thing, crushing records, that is huge for us and Black excellence. Black excellence. Cudi writes, now, new quote, the way he's unafraid to make people uncomfortable is so rock and roll. He's a true rock star. Now, here's the dealio with that. I'll speak to this briefly because I know you want to take up all the time talking about Lil Nas X. But here's the deal with that. When you say making people feel uncomfortable, I don't think that's okay. Right? I think that if you are gay, I think that if you are proud to be overweight, I think that if you are proud to be white, black, lesbian, whatever it is you identify as, if you are proud of that, be proud. But I don't think that you should throw it in people's face to the point that they are uncomfortable, because that's just rude. That's just rude. You know what I mean? Imagine for a second, if you will, I go out and I buy the new Yeezys. Hundreds, thousands of dollars.
Oh, you got money.
I'm pretty proud of these shoes. I just came from my car, walked on the road, not stepping in any mud or anything like that.
You got money. I was about to say, you got money.
But what I'm saying is I do that, and then I come into your home and say, hey, where's your bedroom at? It's upstairs. Why? Go in your bedroom, start jumping up and down on your bed in my Yeezys I'm proud of my Yeezys. No, I should be able to do that. I'm proud. You understand the point that I'm making? So
no, I get the point you're making.
Yeah, I get it. Be proud, but just you can't intentionally try to make people feel uncomfortable. And to the point that Cudi's trying to make, because the people who are feeling uncomfortable in Cudi's eyes and maybe Lil Nas X's eyes are the people who, don't like gay people. So it's like, who cares if we make them feel uncomfortable? But that's not how you do it, because you want people to come around, don't you? Isn't that the goal? Don't you want people to come around and accept you for who you are? So how are they going to ever do that when you're being an asshole? Maybe I have no problem with gay people, but you are actually a dick. And I don't
say his name.
like
You should
that.
say his name. You say his name.
Well, we know what we're talking about. Lil Nas X, Cudi, whoever.
Thank you.
The point is that's not how you win people over. So I'm not saying that that's what Lil Nas X is doing, although obviously some points he really is poking the bear. I'm speaking to what Cudi is saying, making people uncomfortable. That's just not how you do it. Okay. I know you got a lot to say about this. Psych, he has nothing to say about this. Viewing public, leave it in the comments. I want to know what your thoughts are. I mean, I'm just here to spread the love. Deuces. Okay.
What I honestly, with that topic, what I wanted to talk about was if gay people would ever be accepted into hip hop. But that's a topic. That's a different topic. It's the second part of his tweet.
Yeah,
we can move on.
Yeah. Okay. Why is too much free time isn't actually bad for you? Why is that?
Oh, here we go. Because this is something that I've been saying for years. You know what I mean? I like my leisure time. And there's a study that's been come out. And the study pretty much says that the sweet spot for leisure time that you want to be mentally healthy and for your well-being is about between 2.5 to 5 hours, right? And when that first study came out, everybody ran with it. That was a study by Charlie Warzel, I'm reading here, okay? And when that study came out, everybody ran with it and said, you can't have more than 5 hours of leisure time. If you have more than 5 hours of leisure time, then you're going to be stuck. You're going to go crazy. It's too much. You don't need it. So that got people in the workforce to actually change a lot of their policies and say, listen, we're going to give you more work to do. We're going to change the way that we operate because too much leisure time is not good for you. What's not good for you is not good for us. That study got countered. There was another study that came out most recently. And why this is interesting is because it doesn't say that having more than 5 hours of leisure time is better for you. It says how you use your time above those 5 hours will make you more healthy. Why do I want to talk about this? Why is this interesting? You're probably sitting there, if you're still here, like, I'm about to click off of this. The reason I want to talk about this is because we live in a day and age now where everybody is rush, rush, rush. I got to go, go, go. I got to do this. I got to get that. And a lot of people are being overworked and underpaid. That's just the society that we live in. And they've accepted it as the norm. People are willing to work 70, 80 hours for minimum wage and less, depending on their status in the country, just simply because they feel that's what they need to do to survive. I like when studies like this come out because they challenge the norm, they challenge people's thinking, and they allow people to think that maybe I am working a bit too hard. I don't know about you, but me personally, I feel like I've been working for a long, long, long time. And not to say that I don't have anything to show for it. There's actually things that I own. There's things that I've invested in. But my hours versus my paycheck and the things that I have to deal with during those hours have never equaled each other. Could you imagine a life? Go ahead.
Bro, I don't need a study for this.
What do you mean you don't need a study for this?
I don't need a study for this. I like that they did it, like they conduct studies on a lot of dumb shit. So I like that they did it, but I don't need a study for this. Of course I know free time is great for you. And by the way, you can't tell me, hey man, you're wasting too much of your time. A, it's my life. B, it's my time. C, how I choose to use it is up to me. And by the way, if what I'm doing makes me feel good, makes me relaxed, and it's not harming anyone, what's the problem?
Well, it depends on what you're doing, because if you're just scrolling through your phone, if you're just watching Netflix, that's different.
I totally disagree, because when you talk about society and blah, 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 amazing points, by the way, I'm just saying, like, the standard of someone's life is also measured and dictated by influence on society. Case in point, you're X amount of years old. You should graduate high school by then. You're this years old. You should have your license. You're this years old. You should blah, 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 blah. All these benchmarks you got to hit. No, those are your benchmarks. You can't put that list on me. Especially,
but a lot of people do.
You can't put that list on me, especially when you're out here not helping. You ain't helping me. You ain't making it easier in fact, you're making it harder. So I don't give a shit about a list. I don't give a shit about a study's great, but I didn't need it. If I'm attaining, rather hitting the benchmarks that I set for myself, I'm cool. And if it means it might take a little bit longer, but I'm less stressed out, I'm happier, I'm cool. Love that you did the study. Love it. Just don't need it. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, fellas, next time your lady is hassling you for being on the sticks, on the PlayStation, on the Xbox, whatever you play on, just tell her, babe, it's good for me. Okay, this is good for our well-being. It's good for our mental health. So I'm just gonna be on here a few more hours because I gotta go more than 5.
Except for
You're welcome, guys.
Except for video games. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That is a waste of time and money. Now, what? His son was shot by cops 17 years ago. Now he's suing to get the bullets. I'm confused. You're gonna have to enlighten me.
This is a story just about parenthood and how determined of a parent some people can be when they feel that they're right. Long story short, right? How far would you go if you believe something to prove it? Long story short. So this is a story about Michael Bell Sr. Michael Bell Sr. had a son. Okay, 17 years ago, his 21-year-old son was shot and killed by the cops. Let me see if I can find the story here. So pretty much what he's done over the last 17 years, his father he's hired independent investigators and forensic experts, purchased thousands of dollars in billboards and advertising, publicly critiquing law enforcement, and even successfully advocated for the passage of a state law mandating investigations of all deaths in police custody. Now, let's get to the story of what exactly happened. Hold on, let me find this.
Is he white?
It's a black man. It's a white guy. No, it's a white guy.
He's a white guy? That's amazing. I love it. I love it when I see white people taking digs at the cops. Not because all cops are bad, but just because there are bad cops. And I feel like there was a period in time when our white brothers and sisters just didn't think that was true. Like they just felt like if you had a badge, there's no way you could commit a crime. Not the people who are supposed to stop crimes.
Right.
Never. So I absolutely love it when I see them resisting, when I see them speaking out. It almost brings a tear to my eye.
Listen, I don't have a child, but I know that if I had a son and I had even a little bit of inkling that he might have been wrongfully shot and they tried to cover it up, or because listen, this is the Kenosha police force that we're talking about. For those who don't remember, it's the same police force that was involved in the Jacob Blake story. Okay. So it's not like this is something that's out of the blue for them or something that came out of nowhere. It just so happens that this family happens to be a different color. So this made news a little sooner. Anyways, I think I found the story. Okay, so what happened was they pulled Bell Jr. over for speeding as he was driving. During the first few moments of the stop, which were caught on police dashboard camera, Bell got out of the car, prompting officers to rush towards him. So let's just stop there for a second. He got out of the car. Officers rushed towards him because he got out of the car. Okay. Police that he take a breathalyzer test as they moved out of the view of the camera, but Bell refused. A toxicology report would later confirm that Bell had been drinking sometime before he was on the road. When he refused, insisted that he'd done nothing wrong, officers tackled him to the ground. But Bell managed to escape, and then the officers chased after him, allegedly tasing him as he fled towards his home just a few feet away. Police concerned Bell and Lieutenant David Kruger grabbing him in a bear hug against the car parked outside the home's garage. There was another officer who stood immediately to his right, according to the police department, and another officer joined the struggle with his gun drawn and pointed it at Bell's head after one of the officers claimed he was reaching for his gun. Kruger, one of the officers, then told another officer to shoot Bell, still in his grasp, in the head. this officer pulled the trigger, killing Bell as his sister and his mother stood just feet away.
Wow.
Let that all sink in. Let it sink in.
So just to quickly speak to that. First of all, viewing public, when the cops pull you over, do not exit your car. In fact, keep your hands at what is it? At 10 and 2. Keep your hands on the wheel, keep it at 10 and 2. And when the cops ask you to reach for license and registration, let them know what you're doing and where you are reaching. Basically, before you do anything, tell them. Second thing, when they ask you to take a breathalyzer test, take a breathalyzer test. In other words, comply. Forget your pride. Forget you're just doing this because I'm a brother. Fuck all that shit. Leave the situation alive. You know why? Because you can fight it later on. Okay, with that being said, this is totally excessive. Totally excessive. You said it's a bear hug?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I've been in a bear hug and I put people in a bear hug. Obviously, bear hug, hands around the waist. I don't know if the hands were also in the arms were also in the bear hug, or if the arms were also outside of the bear. Because if the arms are outside of the bear hug, you can still reach.
No, you want to get into details for sure. Yeah.
You could still reach. So I don't
Right.
know that. But second of all,
none of these officers have been charged.
I just want to say, shoot him in the head. First of all, my understanding, because I always said, why does it have to be a fatal shot? Somebody did me a huge solid and explained why police go for a fatal shot. Because I'm always like, why don't you just wound? And the point of the fatal shot is to cause as little damage to the surrounding people as possible. You try to shoot an arm, a knee cup, a shin, hard targets. The chest is a big target. Head is a big target. Easy to hit. Less possible collateral damage. So I understand that. But if somebody is in a freaking bear hug and you're right up on them,
3 officers,
it's not going to be hard to shoot that person somewhere else. And then cherry on top, I'm sorry to say it like that, it's vicious, the whole story, in front of the guy's family. Yeah, I'm done.
As a father, because obviously I didn't mention that he was outside when this happened. I don't know where he was. I don't know if he came home and found out about this. I don't know if he was inside. All of that shit is irrelevant. As a father, I'm 100% with what this gentleman is doing. It sounds crazy. I don't know a lot of people who would spend money on billboards and all of that to shame the cops. That's some white people shit, but it's also amazing at the same time, because to go that deep with it, this is why, for all the things that people that people say about the Karens and how all these people operate and all that stuff, when they go for their people, their family, they go hard, and they go in ways that involve things that Black people would never think about, because who's spending money?
Yeah, we just can't afford it.
That's the thing. Who's doing that? There's nobody gonna do that. They didn't have no billboards for none of these people, and they were on the news. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, they get more. You get murals. We get murals. We do get that though.
Listen, this story is just really sad.
It is.
It's just a really, really sad story. And that's why I responded the way that I did before I got into my reaction of the bear hug, and then from there on. Just do whatever you can to avoid being put in that situation, man. Like, not all cops are bad. Like, not all cops are bad. I don't know what you want me to say on this pod. And that even might sound like I'm contradicting earlier things that I've said on this pod about cops. And that's fine. I'll eat that. But not all cops are bad. It's just you don't know the ones that are. But when you run into one that is, you will know like that.
Mm-hmm.
So just try to get out of that situation. Comply, man. Make it home. And then once you're home and you're safe, You can file the reports. You could do your social media, whatever it is you feel you need to do to tell your story or to vindicate yourself or to get your pride back. Whatever it is, do it then. But at least you'll be alive to do it. So I just say comply. And to this family, man, I feel your pain, bro. I've never gone through it. Sorry, I can't say that. I don't feel your pain. I can't even say I understand, but I support what you're doing. I support 100% what you're doing. And the reason why I can't say I feel it or understand is because I haven't gone through it. And I hope to God I never do.
You can still understand it even though you didn't go through it, though.
No, I can understand it to a certain degree.
Right.
I'm never gonna really understand.
You understand the reasons.
Of course. Yeah, man. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, this one sucks. Deuces.
Yo, thanks for watching that video, making it all the way to the end. You made it this far, you have to like. Please subscribe and comment on the video as well. Join the conversation.
Absolutely. We finally hit our goal of 500 subscribers. Yes, we are trying to get to 1,000. And we can only do that with your help. You can start by watching that next video. You see that tiny little icon? Click on that icon, rinse and repeat. Deuces.
Deuce.